Hi, I'm Johanna Rothman, and this is my February 2025 Create an Adaptable Life newsletter. When do you choose to move from risk awareness to contingency planning? A reader asked when I choose to manage risks with contingency planning. I had to think about the question because I'm often aware of various risks. In my life and projects, I often make small adjustments to stay on track. That's why I use leading indicators, not lagging indicators, for data. Every so often, I need to create contingency plans. That's why I added the image above to show how I think about risks. I'll start with risk awareness. Clarify risk awareness. We are all aware of various risks all the time. That's why we put gas in our cars or plug them in for power, get enough sleep so we are ready for the next day, and check the weather to know what to wear or possible travel risks. Many of us do that level of risk awareness without even thinking much of it. I make it part of my routine, and I suspect you do too. I suspect that what most of us call adulting is about being aware of and preventing too many daily risks in our lives. Then there are the various sizes of adjustments so we can have easier lives. Adjust as needed. We all adjust as needed, whether it's driving, sleeping, or what to wear for the weather. Sometimes, as in the case with a detour, we adjust on the fly. A small example of the change model in action. Other times, we need more adjustments. I check my Fitbit and my Aura to make sure I'm walking enough and getting enough useful exercise. Sometimes, wandering around the house, I get plenty of steps, but not much useful exercise. When I take both of those measures together, I have a leading indicator of what I need to do for the rest of the day. Notice that I have to check these measures regularly, otherwise they become lagging indicators. But since I'm somewhat fanatical about getting my steps and my exercise, I do check often enough. That's because I shorten my feedback loops. See the Project Life Cycles book, link in the permalink below, for how to do this at work, not just personally. The longer the feedback loop, the less likely you can adjust as needed. Worse, the more likely you will need contingency plans. Create contingency plans. I use a contingency plan all the time, my relator. That's because I am very well aware of the risks of falling. I do not want to fall under any circumstance. Because of my vertigo, I don't recognize, I'm unaware, that I'm starting to fall. That means I can't possibly adjust fast enough to catch myself before I fall over. So I use the rollator as a contingency plan. I also use other contingency plans, such as having sufficient food in the pantry in case we lose power in the winter or during a storm. Pantry food will sustain us without needing power to heat or cool it. It's efficient, not terrific. However, this person wanted to know about contingency plans when everything is in chaos. I don't think we can have good contingency plans yet. However, based on our personal risks, we can choose the risks we want to manage and create contingencies for those. What risks do you need to manage the most? Consider these possibilities. Start with money. Consider the effect of higher inflation for any loans, long-term savings, or college educations. That's because money can buy you freedom from many problems. Not all, but many. If you are not an obviously straight white person, do you need to carry an ID that proves your citizenship or choose where to go to manage your risks of other people taking offense at you? I'm not saying this is good. It's terrible. but we all need to be aware of and make small adjustments to manage our risks. Which other personal risks do you need to manage to create your life that allows for more ease? Do that. As we learn more about what our society will be, we can move between risk awareness, small and large adjustments, and then real contingency plans. That's why I called it a continuum. We move across the continuum as necessary. I like to do that with small plans that lead to big results over time. That's the point of adjusting as needed. Adjust as needed. I rarely create and use big plans. Instead, I create an overarching goal for what I want to accomplish. That's because my plans, just as my clients, need to change more often than I might like. Instead, I plan to the next milestone that will help me accomplish my goals. And that's the point of using a risk continuum. To notice risks, awareness, make continual adjustments, and if necessary, create contingency plans. There are a whole bunch of announcements with the next writing workshop, with my newest book, Effective Public Speaking, the Agile Network, and all the links below. The permalink will have links to all of this. Thank you, and I will see you next month.